The most important thing when I do a review is that I have full editorial control. This means that whatever is said in the video is coming from me. I decide what I want to show you, I decide what I want to criticize and what I want to praise. But for full transparency, I've marked this video as including paid promotion, and that is because JC Wings was so kind to send me this model for free. Something that I'm very grateful for because it means that I'm able to show you this grand new JC Wings model. With that, hello and welcome to this brand new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at an Airbus A380-800 of all Nippon Airways. At the front of the box we have this lovely box design incorporating the aircraft model. Then on the back side of the box we again have some lovely graphical elements from the livery, and we have this graphical representation of the aircraft and its dimensions, and that is also specified in writing. And here she is, the Airbus A380-800 of all Nippon Airways in the sunset orange livery, or also known as Kala. A little while back I reviewed a model that was based on the same aircraft that we see here. However, it had been made by A&A Precision Models and was made entirely out of plastic, where this JC Wings model is made out of die cast. But I'm sure there are many other areas where this model sets itself apart, so let us take a closer look at the aircraft model and start our tour around it with a look at the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer have the A&A branding. But we do also find some lovely detailing on the horizontal stabilizer, like for example the markings as to where to walk on the stabilizers that have been printed on. On the fuselage we then also have plenty of detailing. Here we have the Japanese flag, the A&A branding with the company slogan, Inspiration of Japan, and the full registration code of the aircraft as well. Also, towards the very tail of the aircraft we have some lovely detailing around the APU exhaust. A revolutionary new detail in scale 500 that has been introduced by JC Wings has also been added to this aircraft model and can be found on top of the fuselage, and that is the addition of physical antennas. And I'm not just talking about the set dome, but no, actually physical antennas. But not just that, there can also be found plenty of printed details here on top of the fuselage. Really an awesome job from JC Wings. But also at the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage there are plenty of details to be discovered. Of course we have the Star Alliance logo, of which the airline is a full member, and the aircraft type specification. But when we look closer we can also see a lovely amount of details around the cabin doors, and also hatches and sensors that have been printed on as well. Also around the cockpit section we can find more sensors that have been printed on, and of course also the cockpit windows with the window wipers. And given that this is the first A380 of JC Wings in scale 500, I think it is also worth mentioning how good the mold actually is. If we move on to the engine nacelles, we can see they have been kept in all white, but that does not mean that they don't have an overflow of details. Of course the silver leading edge has been printed on, but we do also find the Rolls-Royce logo and plenty of safety markings and hatches, and I think JC Wings has really done an awesome job with that. Also the physical detailing of the engines is actually rather good. Also here when we look into the front, where we can see the engine fan blades very nicely. From the engines we can move on to the wings, which we should definitely also take a closer look at, starting off with the top side, where we on one side have the Japanese sun, and on the other side find plenty more printed details like the full registration code of the aircraft, or for example the markings as to where to walk on the wing. But of course we do also have plenty of physical detailing with the flap slats and spoilers carved out very nicely. Also the underside once again offers us on one side the Japanese sun, and on the other side the full registration code of the aircraft, and also here a lovely bit of physical detailing. And that great standard is continued all the way to the wingtip fences, manifesting itself in great physical detailing and very lovely work with the printed details as well. And on first glimpse I have nothing but praise also for the landing gear. The main landing gear looks really great. JC Wings has done a good job with that. The front landing gear itself is also quite lovely. Here we also have some printed details, which I always like, but I can also not shake the feeling that the front landing gear might be a tiny bit too tall. On the belly of the aircraft we then find the A&A branding and once more the company slogan, Inspiration of Japan. That has however been impaled by a hole in the fuselage for a stand, which I assume will be included if you buy this aircraft model at a retailer. But since I got this model directly from JC Wings, there was no stand included. If that is the case, I would say it is a shame, because the hole really destroys the detail. If the stand is there, I'm still not a big fan of it, but it makes more sense. And then last but not least, we do also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed onto the aircraft model, and also here JC Wings has really put some time and effort into the print with some lovely bit of detailing. So there we have it, the Airbus A380 of All Nippon Airways in the sunset orange livery, or also known as Kala, from JC Wings in scale 1 to 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Honestly speaking, I must say that I am impressed. This is the first time that JC Wings makes an A380 in scale 500, and they have seriously nailed it down. Yes, in my opinion, the front landing gear is a tiny bit too tall. But that's the only thing I can criticize. The print quality is awesome. There's a plethora of details, nothing is left out. And the physical detailing is amazing as well. And of course, mind-blowing is the addition of the physical antennas. All this excellence, however, does also come at a cost. The model itself will retail in Europe around 50 to 55 euros, which for a scale 500 model is steep. But when we compare it to the ANA Precision models, which was a good model but entirely made out of plastic and does not reach the level of the JC Wings model, and retailed around 80 to 90 euros in Europe, then this seems like a bargain. But I cannot lie, I of course hope that JC Wings will make many more scale 500 models in the future, and for a one-off model the price is okay. But of course, if they make many more models, then the prices hopefully can come down and become more competitive. But for now, the only thing I can say for certain is that this is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best scale 500 A380 I have ever come across. And of course that means that I am absolutely happy to recommend this for one's collection. Now with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you're on your idea, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.